What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Tilt City here on the FSI DFS YouTube channel. I am Alex Hooper, joined by Tom Stoss on the other end. Tom, what took you to Tilt City this week?
I'm going to just pump the brakes real quick to clarify something for the fans, and honestly for me too, because I don't think I ever asked. Is a tilt always negative, or is it something that's just like you're all over the place? It just sort of, because the tilting, like you just like, yeah, I feel off balance sometimes.
I don't know that I've ever given it that much thought.
Okay. Because I'm going to say, going off the off-balance one, just all of today, but more specifically, sleeping through the first set of lineups and thinking that my day was screwed, and it wasn't at all. It was a pretty good. It was a good day. That's what tilted me. Negatively, I would have said earlier that I slept through it and I'd be really pissed off right now, but I'm not. I'm just weird.
I think and you did have a day. You had quite a day. It was very impressive. I think it's generally a negative thing. It's when something pisses you off and then you start throwing too much money into other things.
Oh, okay. That did sort of happen, but I don't know. I'm going to say sleeping through lineups, because if I actually paid attention and then woke and stayed awake when at 8 o'clock this morning, it could have been an even better day. So, yeah.
There you go. Maybe, but you might have changed everything else as well. So
I probably would have. What's got you going today, man? What's got you tilted?
Nothing. I had a good weekend.
Yeah.
I could nitpick myself. I had 28 entries. I think I had 19 tickets to that Manchester derby today, and I missed by literally one player. I went Cancelo instead of Shaw, and that would have at least won me part of second place. I think it might have actually put me sole possession of first. So I'm not going to tilt too much over that. I was upset that I was walking the dog this morning, and I was just like, so should I just go completely off the board and go, it's not about what happens, it's about what happens if it happens, and go with a lot of United, or what? So I was never playing Rashford today, though, so I'm not going to get too upset about that. So it was just that showdown, and then I did one thing on Saturday that was not great, but I don't really regret it a ton. Let's get into yesterday while we're at it. Started off with this Burnley Arsenal match. I had plenty of Chris Wood. I had plenty of Auba and Showdown. And of course, I didn't align him at all, especially with Willian. So of course that went that way. But that wasn't on the classic slate. The classic slate was another one like last week where like you had to go with a lot of floors and hope you caught some goals. And you got a floor goal in the first match. I wanted to stack Southampton a lot. The way I was kind of perceiving people talking about the slate is that Southampton's been so bad, but like who they are and who Sheffield is. So I tried to get to a lot of them. I wanted to get to Che Adams, but he didn't start. And then I got to a lot of Danny Ings. Danny Ings goes off hurt in the 13th minute. Che comes on and he scores. But you get, if you were going with the James Ward-Prowse floor against Sheffield, you got a goal nice and early. And then, of course, Adams scores. Stuart Armstrong was worth some consideration on this slate, but I didn't get to him a whole lot. But
it was pretty crowded. It was the problem. Mm-hmm. He's like a good pivot. He's like a pivot that worked out, but like he was just a bit too much above like a midfielder you want to punt to.
Right. Yeah, when I was going with more of my Southampton stacks, I was trying to get to guys like Minamino and Bertrand, not Stuart Armstrong, because I'm playing GPPs, so I wasn't going for like, maybe Stuart Armstrong going to give me that high upside. But he had a 17-point game, something like that.
It's a pretty, yeah. Or you're going to Danny Ings, by the way, which I'm sure sent a lot of people to that on Saturday.
Yeah, that was actually probably my biggest tilt. But it was whatever.
It's in the past now. That's
I didn't spend too much time thinking about it. Second game, this is where I really goofed. When my Southampton stacks looked really good, I went to Wolves instead of maybe going to Leicester or Brighton. But I thought that game would be more evenly matched. I didn't think Brighton would score. I didn't know what Leicester was going to give you. So I thought at least Neto, I think, will be better against a team that's kind of sputtering without their star. And then I thought maybe I'd get some wide points from Adama Traore, and just Neto got there. Traore just didn't.
Right. Yeah.
Not really a whole lot else from that game, though. And I don't think a lot of guys that we were planning on playing, because El Ghazi sat.
Yeah, right.
And Ross Barkley.
Yeah, I'll take a look when we get to it later on, because I don't remember who actually worked out from this one. But it seems like Villa ones are just like you have to pick one guy, don't overdo it. And Wolves, I guess, are like that too, to a degree.
Yeah, like Wolves, it's like you play Neto, and then sometimes you get to Traore. I like to get to Neves. I think he's still on PKs.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he's a good gamble for them too. Yeah, if you're looking for like an outside the box one, yeah, he's reliable.
So the Leicester Brighton match was one. I don't even remember who scored. Oh yeah, Lallana scored early.
Yeah,
that was
good on you.
That was a bummer. I had Moppa in some spots, so that was fine, but he just didn't do much. My pivot du jour, like if Nacho starts next to Vardy, I just play Nacho because
why not?
Especially right now, he's hot, but like everyone's gonna be on Vardy instead of Nacho. So Tielemans with the set taker assist, which was beautiful. No penalty for Vardy. And then so I know the guys at RotoWire talked a ton about the barbell lineup this week and getting some cheap center backs, and really the only $2,600, $2,500, $2,700 center backs. I mean, there were three of them, 25, 26, 27 from Leicester, one of them being Daniel Amartey, who I got to quite a bit with a sub assist from Mark Albrighton.
Oh man, okay. I forgot who they were. I was just like lasered on like Fofana the whole time.
I saw you had
yeah. And you know, for what he is, it wasn't a bad return from him, but wasn't a Marty, that's for sure.
Right. Yeah, I didn't get to him, I don't think, in the places that I needed to. So let's see if I can actually sneak and bring this up. What do we got first? All right. So here's the $1. Let's look at my lineup really quick. This was my best one, the one that I talked about. My Southampton stack went off. I was sitting around these positions anyway. I was gonna play Gross regardless. I wasn't gonna pivot off of him. Maybe I should have when I got a 5 out of Traore, but who would I like? Lallana or Nacho? Nacho would have been the only one, but I was high enough to where I thought I could just kind of take my floor and maybe get there. So let's see where else. Same thing. I had 17, 10, 15, and I was just like, I don't remember what this looked like at first. I don't remember how this lineup was built initially. I don't think it was a Wolves stack, but that was just where I went when I had good situations brewing. Surprisingly, I'm up this high with Ings. But it's because they got the Amartey goal and Nacho goal.
Yeah, okay. Oh man, I hate when that happens. You just like all that slack right there. Who knows where you could have ended up.
Right. So I went into that last match with, I already took a 3 here. So I had a decent amount of upside. I thought I would get that upside here. And then Amartey would just give me 3 or whatever, and then I would hope for the Nacho goal. So, I can't be mad about this at all, other than Ings getting hurt. But if he would have had a nice game, I don't think I would have built that way, but it still would have been nice. I forgot to take Homie out.
Yeah.
But I got my Amartey goal. Same thing, went to Wolves too much. That was kind of my story. Punted here, went to William Jose a lot, had enough points here, thought I might get a sheet here. I did. Went to Nacho again. Here's where I just did kind of the same thing. I went to Vardy. Neves, of course, was good.
Yeah. Did you get to Armstrong anywhere?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
This was my main lineup, by the way. It was a Leicester stack.
Okay. Yeah.
I think that was just the first thing I wanted to do in GPP. And then right behind it was...
I didn't realize Amartey was just as cheap as him. I thought he was like a 3,000 for some reason.
Man.
Leicester cornerback roulette or center back roulette.
Yes, of course. That's an Andrew Laird thing. I know he talks about that. He always takes the center back who doesn't score. I got lucky this week. But let's take a look at the top and guess who's going to be in the top lineup. I already looked. You want to take a guess at who is in the number one lineup?
Danny Ings.
Yep. You want to know who else?
Well, I don't.
Who
else?
Who would make the least sense? With Danny Ings.
Jack Grealish.
You're onto something.
Did he start? Did he not? Yeah, let's listen.
Oh, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was something else I was looking at then. Wow, I just got us all worked up for nothing.
I really wanted to see that. Whatever. I'll just. There we go.
There's Ings, Armstrong.
Well, that would have put him in first if he had anyone else.
Now I'm just clicking to find it because I saw a lineup towards the top that had Che Adams and Danny Ings.
Oh, good on you.
So, shoot. Now I'm just screwing everything up. What did Charlie get to? Charlie went Wolves stack too, and he got Armstrong and Ward-Prowse. Charlie's great. Charlie looks very young. I follow him on Twitter. He looks like he's a very young kid, and he's damn good. He beats me at everything. He is. He really is. All right, so here's the top lineup. Set taker, set taker, set taker, set taker, cheap wingback, punt, right keeper, punt.
So this is how
that was the slate.
I remember looking at Gross, Neto, Tielemans, Ward-Prowse like at the top four and being like, well, how could I make this work? I don't think I can make this work. Turns out you really can make it work.
This is just a really good cash lineup.
Yeah.
He only
it's
got
it's almost too punty to be a cash lineup. I don't know, but why not?
So Tella, I was on quite a bit because he was 3,400, and I think he was wide.
Okay, all right. Because I've seen that now, and I don't know. I didn't have a read on him at all. So yeah.
Yeah, like if you get a midfielder who's like under 4,000 and
that's true. Yeah,
he's on the outside, like I'll play him every time.
Oh, I totally overlooked him. I don't know what I was thinking. First match, man. I don't know. I was probably waking up.
So this was just reading the slate. This was exactly what the slate was floors. Got the keeper right. I mean, you play a keeper against Sheffield, and I would guess that he made this lineup, and he made the exact same lineup with every keeper on the slate. In a 20 max, like if you can get to the big one, then you might as well just make 5 and just pray you get one right.
That's a great process. I like that. I feel too safe doing that most of the time.
I do it quite a bit. Yeah. I've had some good days doing that. So James Ward-Prowse in your utility spot from, I think, Golf Runner is pretty good. That's interesting to not have switched. I guess it didn't matter. You were playing playing 3 midfielders from Southampton, so more power to you. But yeah, you couldn't have built it any other way. So I take it back. Golf Runner's just playing 5D chess, and I didn't even realize it. Pereira actually got there this week when I didn't start him. So, all right. Yeah. So that's Saturday. I mean, not really a whole lot more to get into. I'm probably spending too much time on it. Was this the same thing? Oh, that was the $4. This was the $1. Here you go.
Okay.
This one, the $1. Ings Adams.
All right. Very nice.
Yeah.
Nice job.
You'll get more lineups like this as you go down. Ings again. Ings in the top 2 lineups. As you go down in stakes, you'll get more lineups where another Ings Adams.
Who were any of the moves off Villa? Was it just Watkins? Did only Watkins break 10?
I have no idea. I paid no attention to them.
I think so. Yeah.
Target got 7.
I always believed. I have too much faith in some of these guys. I don't know.
Konsa with another great day as a punt.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
He's a soft. Look at Che Adams is in all these lineups.
That's so fun. Great job.
Yeah, so it's almost like, Tom, that you can fall asleep and miss lineups and still have a really nice day. Does that sound familiar at all?
I would be okay with that if we had dime time. That would be my dime time move. That's like
just let it ride.
Yeah.
All right. What else? Do we have anything else to look at on Saturday? Oh yeah, I think I played Blender. I think I left that up. Yeah. So just to see what Blender did. We both had Gross. Oh, you know what? I beat him, but this lineup got screwed up because I edited this was the only cash game I played Saturday. What happened was I guess this was the one that I built first, if you remember. It was the one that came up without a mark next to it. I think I wound up changing a bunch of this, like Traore and like Nacho is not in my cash lineup to start.
Okay.
So I did a batch lineup change. Like you can go into live and hit lineups and then change it, and it changes across every contest. And I wasn't paying attention to this one. I was paying attention to the GPPs. So really, there's nothing to look at here from my side other than that I got really lucky here.
Mm-hmm.
And I took the other two center backs and not a Marty. How about that?
They're good days though, and it helped to hey that he went to Sanchez there.
Right.
Rough stuff. That was a real sleepy one because not a lot of them were getting either much work. It's just whoever let the goals in.
So I mean, yeah, it's Setager, as you should in cash. So he didn't go with. Well, we didn't know whether or not we were going to get Albrighton or Tielemans. Tielemans is pretty expensive, and if you counted on it, you were probably going to get yourself in trouble. And I know Blender talked about that on their podcast, so I assume he went kind of Monty Hall problem, if you're familiar with that, and took the information that he could get. Get Traore up front.
Yeah, that doesn't help much. Oof. That expensiveness plus trying to get to Traore, either Traore, really.
Yeah,
though it worked out for you fine.
Double bummer.
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah.
Trezeguet's had some scoring days, so that's not a bad punt at 3,800.
Yeah.
Yeah. So otherwise, didn't super punt at defender. Punted here. If you would have had a Marty, you would have chased me down. Maybe no, I would have won by a little bit. And then keeper was what it was. So all right, let us really quick take a look at today, which we both had a lot of fun with.
Fulham beats Liverpool. Sleep
yeah,
because I was so mad that I just didn't get up again.
Your holder lineup was great. I didn't see this coming.
No.
Mario Lemina, I got to look in quite a bit because I wanted to kind of counter Liverpool, but I certainly didn't get to Lemina. When TAA was not in the starting lineup, I switched to Robertson in a lot of places, and I was like, I don't really know about that. I should probably get to Milner or Shaqiri more. I got a decent amount of Milner. It was super cheap. I got some Shaqiri, and he had a nice day. We'll see how many crosses he had. But yeah, I had a lot of Areola.
Yeah, that was real nice to pick up.
Yeah, there was a joke I wanted to make with his name and our name, and I'll let you figure it out. Leave it in the comments, so I'm not saying it, and then Gator has to filter out all of the unnecessary language. Have you figured it out yet?
We're the bad boys of the DFS. We're the Howard Sterns over here.
I'm like trying to explain my very slight. Do you want me to just tell you?
I get it.
Okay, you got it.
I got it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
I'm there.
Right. Leave in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe.
Please. And all sorts of comments. Call us idiots. Call us like we're real windbags. We go on way too long.
That.
I don't care.
That's damn true. All right.
I'm not. That's good. Yeah.
This is a weird one.
This the whole day is like sort of like confirming like a meta narrative I'm trying to work out Premier League wise.
Okay, I'm interested in that.
I mean, it's all over the place. It's that Liverpool sucks and they're slipping, and like every team has given up trying to catch City except for United. That worked out.
It did.
And then the other piece of it is anyone can beat up on Palace if they want to.
This is
especially if you're in danger of losing your job.
I think these are all super salient points. Oh, one thing about Liverpool really quick. Nico Williams had like 16 points, like 16 floor points or something crazy for them. Yeah. Who saw that coming? Not me. All right. So yeah, United again, like I went a lot of City stacks in the showdown trying to win $20,000, even though that wasn't fantastic game theory on my end. And had I done a little more game theory, I would have figured it. I had a couple of Dean Henderson caps, and that's what won was a Dean Henderson cap. But they had Luke Shaw. I had João Cancelo. A lot more synergy there. not the word I'm looking for, correlation. But I wasn't scripting for them to win. I was scripting for Henderson to make 15 saves and lose.
Right.
So I also had Ederson in a couple of those lineups, but some I didn't. But anyway, yeah, Bruno takes the penalty. I had an Anthony Martial captain with Shaw and Henderson that would have won had Martial scored and not been fouled in the box, but instead Bruno takes it. I only had like maybe one Bruno cap, and it was cost prohibitive, yada, yada, yada. Luke Shaw from Rashford. I mean, these are your 3 floor guys if they exist for United, especially in this game. When you add Dean Henderson into that mix, if you're scripting, it made for a really nice day if you went with United stacks. But I mean, Bruno wasn't that great. Bruno put up 3.9 floor points. Without the penalty, he would have had 3.9 points at, whatever he costs. So he bailed a lot of people out, but still Kevin De Bruyne almost doubled his output. Rodri was good.
Okay.
Mahrez was at 11.8 or so.
Okay.
But that was about it from City. And then we had this last match, which went very much like last week. Of course, Spurs had to concede, which was fine other than my showdowns. But regardless, Bale from Kane. Kane from Doherty was 4,000 in showdown and like 3,400 in classic, which was sweet because we didn't expect him to play. And then Kane from Son. So and Benteke from Milivojevic.
Yeah.
And
picked up Benteke on just one.
Wonderful.
Which, I mean, it did about as much as it could do at a match where I had 2 people not start. So
I captained him. Yeah. Spoiler alert. You want to take us through your lineups really quick?
Yeah. Let's look. You want
to take over the screen share before I look at mine?
Yeah. Let's just take a look at this because I realized going through that not only did I miss the start for the first one, I also just slept right through United City lock because I was like, who cares? And this is my cash, I think.
Yeah, this is your first lineup.
Yeah. And look, no Greenwood not start and only 1 point. Curtis Jones, I got him all over the place and he didn't even come in. So that's a real nice one to look at. And then TAA, who came in and outperformed Robertson, I think he did.
I believe he did.
Yeah. Which I'm not gonna take too much time up on these, but if I get to a Mane one, I also had Mane who came in and outperformed Salah, which that just further reinforces that I'm gonna go with one or the other, or one over the other. This one, another Curtis Jones. De Bruyne came through huge, and this is the Benteke one, yeah.
It's interesting looking at your builds though, because I mean, like they make sense.
Yeah. I between like getting some stacks in, and then I just kind of do like little mini like a little like heavier one way or the other.
Yeah,
and
right.
That's where you see like Mahrez in here, which the City thing too. I feel like you made sure you wanted to get a guy that wasn't he had a high enough floor.
Right.
And that worked out for almost every of the guys except for Cancelo. Like, I forgot to pick up the assist on him. Yeah.
Oh, that would have been even better if they didn't concede. Although I guess you would have lost the assist points, so maybe not.
Yeah, it was funny. Like at the end of the day, I was like, okay, Kane, stop scoring, like because it's like bringing everyone else up who didn't play Curtis Jones. Let's see. Oh, okay, all right, boring. Let's get to a one where I have 3 guys. I think that was about it.
Did you? Hey, look at that one. That one looks like you were awake for it.
I was. Nope. That was the only one that was doing well after the first one, and I was like, okay, I can go somewhere with this. And it wasn't to Kane, which would have really put it up. I guess all the Mane ones must have fallen out. Okay, here we go. Here's a real winner. All right.
The fact that you still got 91 points with 4 guys who didn't start is pretty impressive. So
that's what could happen when you go with the dog against Liverpool. That's just sort of some of the things that can come your way.
So I just want to say this.
Sure.
You did all the right things in your builds, and it shows. I mean, obviously, you're not expecting necessarily Gareth Bale to post 33, but
against Palace, I mean, he seems like he's alive again. So like, I don't know, he'll at least do this for a couple more probably.
But I'm just saying, like, you're doing the right things, and that's the only way that this can happen.
Yeah.
The rest is like Mane is goal dependent. Firmino is goal dependent. Jones is kind of a punt. TAA is, I mean, the best player in his team. He just didn't know he was going to be out, and he still came in, and he's that good that he came in. So I'm not saying like, yeah, just sleep in through luck. That's not the lesson here. But like, you can very well get zeros out of these guys anyway. Like Mane, if he started, could have very easily gotten 5.84. So as long as you're doing that stuff right and just kind of switching up what you're doing elsewhere accordingly, like.
Today was a good day for this too, because there was just so much like what normally would be chalk all over the place.
Yeah.
It drove prices down, and then you had guys going probably more to Salah and Mane, and City and whatever than you would any other day. So that helped me, I'm sure.
Yeah. And then the pure saturation of points from Spurs push things up, and then getting a lot of Areola.
That's a big one too.
But
I'm gonna switch back over.
Hang down to keepers. Yeah, we'll take a look at.
Actually, let's look at my worst one real quick. I want to see what the bottom of the barrel is. Oh, with Robertson. Wow. Oops. Yeah, just no Spurs, I guess. This is what not having them gets you. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, let's take a look at mine really quickly. You saw what worked.
Look at the responsible people, though. The people who can wake up in the morning.
Yeah, dude, that was up like 6. All right. Very close. I almost took it down. Cancelo really did me in. Lindelof outperformed him. Obviously, he had a clean sheet. But, Cancelo didn't get forward a whole lot. I wish I would have done literally anything else there. But,
yeah,
whatever. Hindsight's 2020, and I knew what I was doing at the time, because this was like, hey, if you're playing all three of Son, Kane, and Bale, obviously you're expecting a ton of goals, or else like, why are you playing them? Got the floor. I played a lot more Shaw than I probably should have. Got rewarded. And then Areola, but like, so there was no problem to pay up to defense and get some floors here. I just didn't get it from him.
I feel like Shaw is like almost. I got to see a couple more with them, but I feel like Shaw is getting to be more of a lock than even like Bruno. Like, because if he can turn this like.
Cancelo was awful.
Cancelo
was awful and turned in a better performance than Bruno minus the penalty.
Yeah.
Like, this is just the only reason I think you pay up that high for Bruno, especially as an underdog, is because he's a penalty taker. I think penalty takers, and I've said this before, like, you want to talk about a tiebreaker. Like, there it is.
Yeah.
Just if you're making a decision on a 1v1 or whatever, go with the penalty taker every single time. But I don't know, man. It's frustrating. It really frustrated me. It shouldn't necessarily have been that way. Sorry, I'm trying. There's a big Top Shot drop I got to get in on real quick.
Sure.
I forgot how long we were running.
Who was a better move outside of Cancelo here? Like, who could you have done this with?
Well, let's see. Let's take a look.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
See, Sergio was 5,000. I wish I would have gone there. If I would have won. Yeah.
Okay.
But it is what it is. What do we got for mystery info? Yeah, I mean, obviously you're going to see that big 3 up there, because Son actually went and got his assist. Otherwise, I think you'd see some other lineups up here.
Mm-hmm.
Dino, I'm surprised that's the only place Dino was, but 41. He was 400 up.
Yeah,
there's Nico the first time. 4,900.
Okay. Yeah. What was this all about?
12 crosses.
Jeez.
2 shots assisted, 3 tackles, 2.
That to see that kind of kills me a little, because that's who I would have moved to, and I seen the TA wasn't starting. That's one of those ones. And now in where you could see too where I would have gone from Curtis Jones.
There's not a whole lot of realities where I would have been like, yeah, this is a fair swap.
That's true. I probably would have moved to like Cancelo or something.
Yeah, that's what I did. I moved to Cancelo in a lot of places, and I moved to Serge Aurier in a lot of places, and then he didn't start. So that's where I got Reguilon. So let's see. Yeah, I actually got Hugo. This one would have been quite higher had they not conceded, especially with some Clean sheet points here as well. Milner was kind of a set taker or part-time set taker, floor. Faded Sonny. That ended up doing me well. And then there's our guy again. I got to a lot of Cancelo in both Classic, and here it is, just the same lineup with Sterling. I got to a lot of Cancelo in Classic and Showdown. I mean, most of my builds today were Spurs stacks because, like, I was planning for City United to be 1-0 City or 0-0. And I had a lot of builds where I got Salah and Mana. Salah. And then obviously not Mane because he didn't play. But so those obviously were further down the list. But most of my builds, here was a quick fade. I got to Robertson a lot. I punted Stones a lot. My builds were not very different.
Right.
I got to a little bit of Fulham. Here's this. But I had Dino somehow, despite no correlation otherwise. That bumped me up. Stones and so yeah. So see, it's just a lot of Spurs stacks. Yeah. Not really a whole lot to break down, but
yeah, you gotta hit like almost every single one. You minus like it's you can only get like 5 points out of one spot and have this work out today just because there's a lot going on.
Yeah. Yep. I think everything's going to come down to who you fade in GPP. I think we don't need to look more at mine. Today that fade was Sonny.
Yeah.
It very well could have been Bruno, and I think that's what a lot of people are doing. But
or all of Liverpool for the most
all
part.
Of Liverpool. That's a good one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, like you're going to have to fade somebody, and that's how they build. Like that's how they make the salaries is. So you can't have everybody, but a lot of times there's some general chalk that if you fade it, you will be a lot better. Differential is very much the name of the game, and you had to get there somewhere. And getting off the expensive defenders today was helpful, especially those top two. Although TAA was fine for the price, turned out. Yeah, so not a ton. Not a ton to learn, I don't think, this week. It was pretty standard fare. Stack against Palace right now. Stack against Sheffield forever. West Brom, I don't know that Sam's got him playing behind the ball to the point where I don't know that you need to stack against them. But I think definitely like you want to target Palace and you want to target Sheffield for sure.
Yeah.
Eventually that's going to change. Like everyone has their weeks and they turn it around and everything. But like,
that's I hate that most of all everything just because like you really can't get lazy and being like, yeah, they're bad now. And I'm like, well, they might be bad, but like not quite how they were before.
Yeah.
And also you can't count on the guys who are productive to always be productive. Yeah. Increasingly so. That has been really annoying going forward. And I can't imagine it's going to slow down at all as the season winds down.
Well, when the prices are constantly evolving, everybody's going to get to a point where they're overpriced, and a lot of people end up getting to points where they're underpriced. I'm trying to think of people who have been underpriced recently, but guys who've been out with injuries, like Ross Barkley.
Right.
When he plays 90, he's going to be underpriced, and it's just all about being fluid and knowing the situation as it evolves. I think that's really the only thing. So,
yeah.
And pay down a keeper.
Pay down a keeper. Yes. Today was a good day for that too.
Yesterday was not.
Yesterday was not. Today was the day where that works best of all.
If it's going to be a chalk slate, like if not a chalk slate, but like if it's going to be a goalless slate, I think a lot of times like if you're not expecting goals, then you probably shouldn't expect a whole lot of shots on target. So perhaps, but I mean 1-0 can go either way. But like I think it makes more sense to maybe pay up for the guy going against, an offensively completely woeful team like Sheffield. A little more. I think that's the one place that you can really kind of make a concerted effort to do it. But it's play wherever you want. Yeah. You know the drill.
See what works and just apply whatever sort of pattern reading you can. Even if it's wrong, it'll be totally different the next time. Even if your process isn't exactly right, it doesn't matter. It just someone's going to score, and may or may not get them.
Yeah, I just like, if they are not set takers, they are pretty much all interchangeable.
I meant a keeper specifically for that. It's
Gotcha.
not that wild, but in terms of keeper, do whatever you think works, and maybe it won't work.
Pair your center. If you're punting a center back, pair him with your keeper.
That's true.
If you're, I mean, you don't always have to take a wide defender and pair him with your keeper. I don't know. I think pairing him with your center back's the one thing. If you're playing him if your reasons for playing him are clean sheet equity, then just punt your center back to align with him, if that's what you're doing. Other than that, like, I don't think there's a whole lot. We spend a lot of time talking about it because it's fun. I enjoy the debate because I want to solve the mystery. But
I know, right? It's like looking into the abyss. I'm like, I have to make sense of this. I know there's something there.
And I'm very much there's one way to solve everything kind of person. Like, there's one right way to do it, and it doesn't exist. I've had to learn that, especially the longer that I've done this, is that it just doesn't exist. I've tried to just plug in all the set takers and fill my spots from there, and it doesn't work. And I try all those theories in all of this time that I've been doing it, and none of it works. You have to be fluid, and you can't be systematic. You got to know it works. You got to know the hidden rules of the game, and you got to exploit them.
Yeah.
And you got to be variant. You got to be different.
Yeah. I always feel like there's just something else I'm missing when it comes to keeper stuff I'm not taking account of. And if it's watching more games, I know I'm probably never going to pick up on that, but I don't know. Yeah. That one is like, yeah, you can do, like, the goals have to come from somewhere. Right. And that's what, like, that simplifier of, like, the goals come in, doesn't matter who they're coming from. Your keeper situation is either blown up or it's saving the day.
Yeah. I think we're good at this point at deducing who the actual good keepers on bad teams are. So you know what you're getting. You're getting guys who can stop shots and maybe make a difference. But like Sanchez, you're not going out of your way to play him. Whereas like a Pope or a Gaiata, like, you can go out of your way to get to them because you know they're good. Ramsdale, like, nah. Right. There are the stats that show, how good of shot stoppers they are. And I find they generally align with the results. I mean, that's never going to happen in full. Like, Hugo is the best, and he's even had bad moments, but like the defense has been bad. And so you can know those things, but it's one of those things. But the other thing is, like, you're not gaining a whole lot of EV by spending time thinking about it. Yeah, like, you're probably wasting time you could be making or thinking about other 1v1s, or finish your builds 20 minutes early, get up and go eat breakfast 20 minutes early, or do some sort of research. But I just wouldn't waste a lot of time debating it. We spent more time on it again than we ever should. I think the lesson is to do one simple thing with your keepers, try to get it down to a couple, and don't let that affect how that affects your process on everything else. Absolutely.
Because that can make or break it, and everything worked out fine, and it might not.
Right. Again, other than if you're punting a center back, pair them. Right. Your keeper process should probably be completely independent of the rest of your lineup.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I get a little too upset sometimes, but when it comes down to like the keeper, I picked the wrong side of the coin on the keeper.
Yep. So it goes. It's fun.
Yeah.
I think the best in the world would do so much better if there wasn't as much keeper variance, which is crazy because they do
pretty good.
They do pretty well. So, all right, man. I think that about wraps it up.
Yeah, I'm all set. Let's get on to a whole week in the losing money minds, as I call it.
I had a good weekend.
I know it wasn't that bad. I know. That's for really, really terrible days.
I think I won 5 tickets to the NBA Return Millionaire today.
Nice.
I haven't played NBA in like a month, so I'm gonna be back on that content.
Hey, the NBA, man. If you really want to send me to a dark place, let's switch this to an NBA DFS show.
Yeah, there would be some serious tilting there. I don't know. I got all right at it for a while, and then I tapered off, and but the thing about getting tickets to a Millie contest is I can just be like, I'm gonna get weird, and that's what I plan to do.
Right.
If I don't win $1 million, I don't really care. Unless it's second place and I win 100,000 or something like that. You know, same sort of stuff.
Who cares?
If I win $50, I'm gonna be like, all right, cool.
Thanks, ticket.
Yeah. All right, man.
All right, let's get after it and into the new week. Here we go.
Yes. I don't know how much will be playing this week. Champions League back?
I think it isn't it this week. I think it is. Leeds is playing tomorrow, and I need them to score so my what if Rafinha takes off.
Oh, yeah.
I got that. Oh man,
I'm working on the Gendouzi.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, I don't think that one's happening. I don't know.
Because I have Dennis Zakaria from
Nice.
Borussia Mönchengladbach
Nice.
at my center mid spot, and I would love to offload him and get 107. We're talking about Ultimate Team now.
We're talking Ultimate Team now, which
we pivoted.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get those coins basically.
Always.
Gendouzi is like the same, except he doesn't have as good chemistry with everyone else. So.
This week I finally figured out that I can sell players and make a lot of money off of it. I hadn't been doing that, so that got me to some good spots. We do have Champions League this week, by the way.
Nice.
Juventus Porto's back, Sevilla Dortmund, and then following that is PSG Barcelona and Liverpool Leipzig.
Nice. And I know
who knows how that'll work out. That'll be a day where meta narratives go way wrong for me.
Yes,
always. Too wrong. Yeah.
Always. Champions League is like the home for that for me. Europa League's back on Thursday too for us Spurs fans who.
Champions. We're gonna get it. We're gonna lift that cup.
I can't wait to get in the back door of the Champions League.
Right where we should be. Right till we get to that final, baby. We're gonna do it again.
Oh, snap.
What's up?
I'm like super high on this drop.
You want to get to that?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pay for it really quick. Here's $200 down the drain.
Let's wrap this up.
All right, man. Cross your fingers for me.
Of course I will.
All right, man. Till next time. See y'all.